Welcome back to Idaho Today. I'm going to tell you the story about Nick. Nick has always been neat. That's what makes him comfortable. Any kind of mess or noise or other havoc makes him anxious. But suddenly, a big, drooly, energetic dog has joined the family, and as much as Nick tries, there's nothing that he can do to control the doggy mess. Neat Nick's Big Mess is the story of coping with anxiety and learning how to compromise. The story is as big-hearted and laugh-filled as it is delightfully messy, and we're joined by Idaho local author Chad Otis, who has created the story of Neat Nick's Big Mess. Congratulations.
Thank you
I know you
very
got
much.
so much to share with us, not only about this book, but the other books that you brought with you today as well. And as mentioned, you know, one of them right here, The Bright Side, has been very exciting in its journey. But first, let's talk about Neat Nick's Big Mess.
Yeah, you bet. Great. And great introduction, by the way. I could have written that better myself. But yeah, so here's Neat Nick's Big Mess, my latest book. And like Mellisa said, it is about, the short version is, the neatest kid in the world, who might be the neatest kid in the world, beating what might be the messiest dog in the world. And there are some things that come with Nick's neatness, and some of those are kind of introversion, anxiety. You know, it's a big, messy, germy world out there. And Nick likes to be in his safe zone in his home here, where he collects his shells and keep things really tidy, right?
I love your visualization.
Thanks.
I love the illustration. It really does bring the story to life. What made you want to write a book focused on some complicated things like anxiety and, like you're saying, maybe a little bit of might be a little bit of an introvert? Yeah.
It's interesting because these things always start for me as a really neat boy meets a really messy dog.
Yeah.
And they end up being like any author, you know, where you write what you know, and it's a little slice of me. Each of my books is kind of a little slice of me. So it ends up being about how a super introverted, hypersensitive person deals with the world out there and all the loud sounds and messiness and germiness, and kind of wants to get home. I think we can all relate to that in some way. But a lot of kids, I think, especially can relate to kind of that being hypersensitive and wanting to be in your comfort zone and your safe place.
Yeah,
so.
I'm so glad you pointed out, you know, that you take a piece of yourself when you're writing these stories. The reflection is so great and so profound because when you're able to discuss it at such a young age, it only makes your path that much easier as an adult, because I can think of adults that would benefit from reading that, including myself, right?
Yeah, that's the hope, is that kids, and maybe their parents reading it to them or with them, will relate to that somehow and have a conversation and feel a little bit more comfortable about things.
Love it. Okay, so Neat Nick's Big Mess.
Yeah.
It's just one of the many books that you've written for children.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the fourth that I've written and illustrated, and I'm working on my fifth now with another one with Random House. But the last one that came out too was The Bright Side, which I think it was Lauren Jenkins was nice enough to help me launch this here, and then at Rediscovered Books. And this one is actually semi-autobiographical. It's about a little kid who grew up on a school bus and didn't go to school with other kids until the third grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's a little me growing up on a school bus.
Oh, that's so cute.
And so, again, a little bit of social anxiety and isolation, that sort of thing.
The Bright Side, though, too, has its own bright side. Tell us about some of the accolades that this book has
so I've
received.
been lucky enough to have some recognition from Kirkus and Publishers Weekly, who gave it starred reviews. And then the Idaho Center for the Book was selected it as the youth book of the year for great reads from great places for the Library of Congress Festival in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So that's exciting. Makes me very happy.
Yes. Again, congratulations.
Thanks,
it's fantastic. I remember this one right here, A Little Fairy, here on the show. This was the first book that I ever had a chance to talk to you about.
You were nice enough to have me on for this one too, when I launched this one, so to speak. This one went on to Barnes & Noble, made it their exclusive edition book of the summer last year, and even made the little stuffy for it.
So cute. Yes.
So that
little mascot right
there.
there.
That was fun and exciting. So I'm glad to have had that happen too.
Yes, and then you are going to be available at a couple of events coming up.
Right.
First in April. Tell us about that.
So in April, the Meridian Library District is turning 100 years old this year. And Gabrielle Stroller has put together the first Meridian Children's Book Festival. And I'll be there talking about books and so on with the kids and with adults, and it's free, so whoever wants to go can go there. And if that's not enough draw for you, Matthew Cordell, who's just huge right now in children's books, and our local favorite, Leslie Patricelli, who wrote and illustrated Toot and Potty, two of her favorite books. She'll be there too. So some big shots and me will be at the.
Well, I think you certainly deserve to be at that same table.
Thanks.
And then also coming up in May as well.
Yeah, in May, Rediscovered Books, arguably the best bookstore in
Yes, we love Rediscovered
Boise,
Books.
downtown. I'll be doing the official book launch because Neat Nick's Big Mess isn't actually published yet.
Okay.
You can pre-order it, which would be great. But we'll be doing the official book launch at Rediscovered Books May 11 in the afternoon. The farmers market's happening, so come for the farmers market, stop in, buy a book, or pre-order the book and get it there. I'll sign books, I'll read the book. I might even do a doodle of your doodle in the book if you're there early enough. So that's the plan with that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love. Chad, thank you so much. Where can people go so they can follow your journey and hear more about the other books that you're
so
working on?
probably the easiest place to go to see all of the events, all the books that are coming out, have come out, some behind the scenes, that sort of thing, is chadotis.com.
Wonderful.
So I made it nice and easy for myself. It's my name.com.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Chad, thank you so much.
You bet.
And again,
Thank you.
congratulations. Love
Appreciate it. Thank you very
Love
much.
these books. Everyone, stick around. More to come here on Idaho Today right after the break.